Hello. Okay, I think it's finally going. I want to start out by showing everyone my view. It's great until you realize right there. You got the finish line, but the only issue is I did not think this through at all. But what's going on, everybody? I'm seeing the playoff field being set. We're just going to be pretty relaxed in this. I'm not burnt, by the way. I'm just naturally red. But looking at the playoff field, what we got so far, it's not really saying here what it is. I'm actually surprised they don't have the playoff results on the video board at all. But I got the notes down here. I think it's John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier as they blast more on the PA. Cole Custer, Sam Mayer, Chandler and Sammy Smith, Jeb Burton, Josh Berry, Sheldon Creed, Daniel Hemrick, and Parker Kligerman. If I'm wrong, let me know. I thought it was fun for the most part, a little too much crashing at the start, and then I was fine with the longer green run at the end at that point. This race was 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 49 seconds. 200 laps, I believe 10 cautions, 7 lead changes. I didn't see how many leaders, but I have to guess probably 4. Awesome. I completely winged it, and I was right. Awesome. It definitely wasn't a race to write home about. I thought the truck race was better last night, but it was not bad by any means. I do want to show you guys. I'll flip this back over and show you. They still got the cars going through pit road inspection and everything. So there is that. But let's get into to all this. It's going to be a bit of a sped up stream. Thank you to Jack C Sports for the $1.99. Herbst not making it is a catastrophic failure. I agree. For the great start, honestly, he had to the season, the collapse that team and him had was, I would personally say, one of the biggest collapses I've seen in the playoff era, if you will, whether it's Xfinity, Cup, trucks, whatever. Herbst pretty much had it for the entire regular season. And you're saying I was sunburned? No, I'm just red. I've been sitting in the shade. But he had it the entire regular season. It was set up for him to make it. It was set up for him to make it even going into today. He ran pretty well. He was, Allie Miller, second in points before Richmond to missing the playoffs. And it's not like it was 26 races either. I want to say maybe it was 26 or 25. But it was a short amount of time to have that big of a collapse. And I do agree. I think Parker Kligerman is a better driver. I'm not going to take anything away from Parker. I think that he and that 48 team accomplished a lot this year and will in the playoffs accomplish more. So I don't take this as me saying that, this is taken away from Parker in any way. I think Parker did a great job, and he's in the playoffs because of it. That team and driver all, what's the word? They executed well. Nicholas, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Can members expect any more exclusive content? I will do my best. I'm not going to be at all in the at the track after this weekend, so I'll probably have more that I'll be able to do. And yeah, Parker's a good driver. He earned it. By the way, let's get a few more likes and all that stuff. Thanks for coming in after this marathon of an Xfinity race. The 2023 Kansas Lottery 300. John Hunter Nemechek with the win. Brandon Jones, little too late, both in the season and for the race, but looked like he was actually driving a JRM car today. Finishes second, then Sheldon Creed, Parker Kligerman in fourth. Kligerman looked like he was on a mission today, and mission accomplished. Absolutely accomplished today with that fourth place finish. Austin Hill in fifth. I'm actually just looking right over there at the scoreboard. Josh Berry sixth. Seventh was Brett Moffitt. Eighth, I believe that was Derek Kraus. It's hard to see who's in what car when you're at the track, but I believe Kraus was in the, he was in 8th in the 11. Then you have Joe Graff Jr. finishing 9th in that 19 car, and Kaz Gralla with the top 10. After that, it's Parker Retzlaff, Jeb Burton. Those 12 are your lead lap finishers today. After that, you got 6, I believe, a lap down. Those are Josh Williams, Connor Mosack, Jeremy Clements, Massey, Ellis. Ellis is 17th, yes, and then Justin Allgaier, we'll talk about in a moment, who was my pick going in. Wouldn't have beaten Nemechek, but probably deserves a lot better than the final car a lap down in 18th. After that, Matt Mills finishes 2 down in 19th. Kyle Sieg, Dawson Cram, CJ McLaughlin, Riley Herbst, Joey Gase, and Garrett Smithley. That is 19th through 25th. Finished 2 laps down. 26th, Leland Honeyman, 3 down. Anthony Alfredo, 3 down in 27th. Brendan Poole, 3 down in 28th. And Raja Caruth, a up and down and ultimately very down day for him in 29th, 3 laps down. Then Ryan Sieg, 4 laps down, finishes 30th on the day. 6 laps down for Lights in the 38, finishing 31st. He, I believe, was the one who got into Raja over in 3 and 4 over there. There we go. And I agree, Blue Jimmy, just a bad weekend overall for Raja. At a place that he ran really well. Didn't finish well, but ran very well in the spring. There you can see my nose flying off. It's a little windy. After that, last car, I believe, on the track before you get to these guys who are out was Chandler Smith, 14 laps down in 32nd. Colleague cars seem to have a lot of engine issues today, and I guess it's better to bite them now than the next couple weeks with the playoffs starting up. So good roll on them, at least on that one, I guess, luck-wise. Blaine Perkins finished 33rd out of the race, and Daniel Hemrick is 80 laps down in 34th. 35th goes to Sammy Smith, and Cole Custer 35th, or 36th. Those guys out of the race as well. Sam Mayer in 37th out of the race, and Kyle Weatherman last on the day. Allgaier was on the pole. Lasted a bit. Wasn't terrible. I think actually, I'm looking, they got a bunch of trucks over at the entrance of Pit Road. Hold on a second. You're all good. Yeah, they got a bunch of trucks over here at the entrance of Pit Road. I don't know if they're working on something or what. I know that's right where Raja spun. A couple people spun. Maybe they're working on the grass there, just making sure if somebody spins down there tomorrow, we're not looking at maybe a spoiler or a splitter, I should say, getting messed up. So sorry for the poor quality. It is filmed by an iPhone, so you can add this to your commercial for that. But there is that. Let's see. But at the start, crashed right off the bat with Nick Lights and Anthony Alfredo, and that's right over there. That's where that crash was. I'm not going to do this for every single crash, I swear. I don't want to be here all day. It's already starting to get darker here in Kansas, so. But after that, you have the restart. Allgaier led early. He was the guy who really set the pace, I'd say the first 30 or so laps. But Anthony Alfredo had more issues. His left front would explode. Debris would be strewn everywhere. Brings out another yellow. At that point, I saw that Allgaier had something on the splitter. I don't know if it got bent up or what. It really didn't explain it too well from where we were sitting. Couldn't hear much of anything because, I mean, it's a NASCAR race. But from there, you have a restart where a lap later, and under this caution, by the way, Chandler Smith went to the garage. But a lap later, you have a wreck between Sam Mayer and Kyle Weatherman, this ending both their days right off the bat. And it was just over and over again. It was kind of the same stuff, man. It's kind of the same stuff all race of just restart, run a few laps, have a caution, and the jet dryer's about to go off. It's a NASCAR track. I'm not expecting it to be quiet. But it really was. I think the first 24 laps, we were averaging a caution every 8 laps. You always have at least one race a weekend on this weekend, I've noticed, that is a wreck fest, and this one ended up probably being it. I'm hoping it is, because I really don't want the Cup race to be. By the way, here, if you want to see, that's where I am. But yeah, jet dryer going by. Now at this point, though, I will say, with Hemrick off the pace too, he had the colleague issue. Poor execution, as you're saying there in the chat. At this point, though, when it comes to the playoff grid, I'm pretty sure the tech gods aren't going to be cursing Parker Kligerman. I don't think, he ran any better or any worse, definitely not worse, but any better than he normally does. I think it was just a good run on his part. Clutch run by him. But going back to stage 1, ending off lap 40, I think only 5 laps left of the stage. John Hunter Nemechek took control, and that was pretty much it, man. He had it from there, won the stage over Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, and Sammy Smith. After that, you had Parker Kligerman, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, and Derek Kraus, your top 10. The wind is blowing my notes away. Honestly, I like doing these live at the track. It's really fun. And by the way, if you see me at the track, say hey. I'll more than likely be at the tweet up. And I'll hopefully be doing this after the races, tomorrow, if I can speak, as long as internet allows. A lot of people are expected to show up. There's a good crowd today. I think the biggest Xfinity crowd since I started coming to this race weekend in 2019. So good stuff there. The energy was high. I liked it all. I will say, since we are doing this right before we get into talking about stage 2, right over here is the Cup Garage, and all race during the Xfinity race, as there's a bee landing on me too, Kyle Busch's car was going back and forth. I know he had the issue, I believe he's going to a backup, but he had the issue in practice, and I think that's a backup. I'm pretty sure. But they were going back and forth through inspection, opening up the hood. I'm assuming normal stuff, but we'll see tomorrow how he runs. I'm expecting Kyle Busch to run up front. He should, at least. He's have a very checkered hit-or-miss history of results here at Kansas, but I expect him to run well. But back to the Xfinity race. Stage 2 starts off. Cole Custer beats John Hunter Nemechek off the pits. Really doesn't matter at all because on lap 51, when they have the restart, Nemechek takes it from the 0-0. Custer got caught up in a bit of a scuffle. I don't want to say scuffle, but just like kind of in the middle of the pack there. Got bounced around, has a flat tire, I think it was, which got him up into the wall. That ended his day. You have a restart where on lap 64, this is the deciding factor of the playoff battle when it came to the 98 and the 48. Kligerman, I believe, was ahead of Herbst. They got together, and Herbst got the worst of it. Terrible luck. Again, I don't think that Herbst has, gotten worse over the year. I think he's just gotten worse luck. And with that, Herbst ends up going down pit road. It's pretty much from there costing him the playoffs. There's no way he's tried to charge back up, but there was no way he was going to recover from that. He was going to have a Hail Mary and hope the 48 crashed out. The 48 also outscored him in stage points, as we'll talk about in a moment. If my count is right, he outscored him 9-2 in stage points. Already coming in, only 1 point out. That was going to be big on him. You had a self-spin by Brandon Jones, which is par for the course this year. It feels like he's either has bad luck or no luck or something happens like that. And the last restart, you really have John Hunter Nemechek running off again, getting stage 2 over Sammy Smith now, who had a fast run for a bit. Justin Allgaier, Josh Berry, Austin Hill, that's your top 5 in stage 2. Then Sheldon Creed in 6th. 7th was Kligerman. 8th, Kraus, Retzlaff 9th, and Brett Moffitt top 10. Last stage comes around, and I'm thinking we're going to have even more calamity. This is, 7 cautions so far in this race. We have, I think, around half the race still left to go. You have a restart on lap 96. Jones stays out. He's shuffled out immediately, and you have what I thought we'd have is a caution. Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, they're all in it. I believe it was a 3-wide battle going into turn 3 with Sheldon Creed, I want to say, on the bottom. He's on the bottom. They all get together, kind of sends the 19 up into the 7. 7 gets up in the wall. They crash. 7's day is effectively over competitively. And Sammy Smith is done. He limped it back to the front stretch before having to be towed back to the garage area. From there, it's really just rinse, wash, repeat, man. It's a restart. John Hunter Nemechek gets out front. Herbst went down pit road lap 127. This is the end of his season, basically. with the flat tire. Raja would spin off of 4. I believe Matt Mills got into the back of him. Spins off of through 3 and 4. I believe he did that twice, and those were the last 2 cautions on the day. But every time it was just restart, John Hunter Nemechek gets ahead. Restart, John Hunter Nemechek gets ahead. Pulls away. Brandon Jones on any other day would probably have won this race, but that 20 was pretty unbeatable. But that's the race for you. All that's left now is the Cup race. And after the Cup race, that's just 8 more weeks left of the season. And by the way, I see you guys asking. I just saw the question why the chat's all odd. It's always odd when there's live at the track, just because the settings aren't the same. I'm not in the studio. I did get out and touch grass, so you can be proud of me there. But that about covers it. I'm not going to beat around the bush on this. I am going to go with my dad and go get some sushi and enjoy the night and probably get up really early and come to the track. I'll be at the Tweet Up if you want to see me there, or if you see me walking out, just look for the Winston Cup hat. I know everybody has them now. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll be in one of them. I'll be in one of the Winston Cup hats. So I can't wait to see the Cup race. I have a feeling it's going to be a blast. Kansas with this car has been great both times, and Kansas is probably one of the best tracks of the last 5 to 7 years. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Yes, Kansas sushi. All right, y'all have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.